Hey, it's Anakin Skywalker from Wish, here to talk to you about something I really love. Wow! Yeah! Breaking Bad, one of the most biggest cinematic masterpieces of all time. Ugh. And at the end of the video, I will be talking about something I really want to do really soon. So sit back, let me talk to you about Breaking Bad and enjoy the ride. Cause honestly, I this is a rather short rant about it, and I want to do a deep dive on Breaking Bad, but this is just me talking about the things I love the most about Breaking Bad. There will be spoilers. If you haven't seen Breaking Bad, watch it. It's 2024. I know I kind of felt I'm kind of shitting on myself here too because I watched it in 2021 and 2022. Hey, the pandemic opened up a lot of things for me. So here we go. No, that wasn't meth. Just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. That wasn't meth. I don't smoke methamphetamine anymore. There was a time. Uh, but that's for another story. So here I am. I'm going to talk about the 5 things I really like about Breaking Bad and how I really. It helped me write a bit. I'm gonna be. I've been storyboarding some very funny voiceover cartoons where I take beloved anime characters and stuff. Stay tuned for that. Like, comment, subscribe for that stuff. You know. So there are 3 things about how it is written that really just speaks to me. For one, dramatic expression. As you notice, every time in Breaking Bad, there seems to be a level system. When it's a calmer scene, you will see Walter in a green outfit. When it's kind of cautious, somewhat intense, he will be wearing yellow. And when shit is about to hit the fan, it's red. Now that sort of creative symbolism is really hard to recognize if you're just looking at this base level. I'm not trying to perpetuate a higher IQ or something because I am just an artist who just looks at other people's work and learns from it and points out what they do and enjoys it. This is what I'm doing right now. Now, another thing beyond the creative symbolism is the tone. The tone of how Breaking Bad is. It is very real feeling. A lot of the stuff that you feel watching Breaking Bad, a lot of that shit could happen. Now, the relativity in the fiction, because it is still fiction, the fact that it perpetuates itself and makes it feel real is one of the biggest things that makes Breaking Bad its huge fucking own cinematic masterpiece. Thirdly, along with the rest of the things I have said about this writing and how it is perfect in Breaking Bad, is I really like how absorbed into the roles that the actor has gotten. because they really bring the characters to life. Aaron playing as Jesse. Oh my god. It really hit a spot. And when I heard that guy literally went out on the streets of Albuquerque in the bad zones just to prepare his role. Wow. And one last thing I will bring up about the writing process of Breaking Bad is just how to the wall and how balls to the wall and hard hitting a lot of the characters thematical motivations are in Breaking Bad. For instance, Gus Fring. You learn that there's a whole reason why Gus Fring is Gus Fring and acts like Gus Fring. Another reason I really like how they write the characters is if you look at Walt, oh my god, you witness Walt become a suburban house teacher, and they're freaking goosebumps on my arms as I say this. He goes from a suburban house teacher to a freaking monster in the course of 5 seasons. Oh my god. Now, that wasn't even... There's still 4 things I have to talk about why I love Breaking Bad. And a lot of the points here on will be a lot more defined and a lot less time consuming as that one was, because that was pretty long. And I said this was just going to be a rant. But here we are with the second thing. I really like how the relationships work between the characters. For instance, you look at Walt, and you look at Skyler, and you look at Walt, and you look at Jesse. Then you look at Walt, and you look at Saul. Then you look at Walt, and then you look at Mike Ehrmantraut. And then you look at Walt, and then you look at Gustavo Fring. And then you look at Walt, and then you look at Tuca Salamanca. All the way to Tuca. Ugh. How the characters interact with each other in this is just perfect. You see Skyler start to lose the man she loved. You start seeing Walt start to become more aggressive, assertive, and ballsy towards everyone he encounters. As soon as he establishes himself as Heisenberg, he is the one who cooks. He eventually delves into one of the most important part of relationships in Breaking Bad that no one talks about. Symbioticness. Yes, I'm calling everybody symbiotes to each other. They are symbiotic. You look at Walt. He requires his family to be whole, and if he doesn't have his family, he goes deeper and deeper and deeper into the darkness. You look at Jesse, and he eventually gets to a point where he psychologically depends on Walter. And it turns into one of the scariest abusive relationships you could see on television. You look at the relationships with Jesse and even his love interests. The first one kind of took him over. as it just so happens to happen with Jesse a lot, where Jesse just lets the other end of the relationship just kind of take over him while he just, as I said, becomes symbiotically attached to them. Now, look at this is one of the weirdest interperson relationship, but look at Mike Ehrmantraut and look at Saul. Saul is his own guy, and so is Mike, but they have the most professional, even though it's very unprofessional in some cases, but they have one of the most professional business relationships on the show. And it is very defined, the line that Mike establishes between him and everybody else. If you notice, a lot of people in Breaking Bad, they say fuck boundaries. Mike Ehrmantraut, he's the one to come up and draw the line in the sand. And watching him go from just let me be Walt to freaking just hashing out bands. This guy is pretty intense. Now here we go with point number 3. I know this one could kind of be attuned to the first point I brought up, with the creative writing being one of the biggest things about Breaking Bad. But one of my favorite dramatic effects that he uses, the guy who made this, I really love how everything is kind of interwoven with each other. The fact that everything sort of has a butterfly ripple effect, where just one small thing happens, but it sets off a chain reaction to like 12 to 15 other things. It really hits you. It really hits you. For instance, in the season where the season after Jane dies and her father is breaking a traffic control, and all that happens. Yeah, the traffic control thing. Absolute shockwaves. Tuca Salamanca. Shockwaves. One more event that really set off insane dramatic domino effect was the first kill, where Walter White, the first time he takes someone's life out of necessity, it just kind of shocks you. And it shocks him too, because you see that guilt and then it starts to disappear down the road. But that's all I'm gonna go about on dramatic effect. Part number 4. Death. Death in Breaking Bad is tackled in a multitude of ways. It could be tackled from just basic run-of-the-mill cancer patients. I hate to make it sound like that. but that's what it's like in Breaking Bad. To random heart attacks, to even having being decapitated and having your head put on a turtle as a fucking message. Death has a lot to do in Breaking Bad, and some of the most fucked up ways. Jane's death is really one of the harshest things in Breaking Bad, because it becomes more of an emotional pivot point. You see, when she died, Walter witnessed that, and him watching her die was fucked. Oh my God, was it fucked. And, well, the fact that Jesse didn't know until the last season that that's how it went down. The fact that Walt actually could have saved someone's life. But the fact that Jesse and Jane being together potentially threatened his empire. She had to go to him, and that's her death symbolized the broken freaking trust of Jesse and Walter. The death of Tuca. Yeah, that was a sign that there were bigger fish in the sea coming his way. The death of even the twins dying. That was a huge pivot point for Hank. Gus dying was a pivot point that there are worse people than Gus. Even though you take out one of the most important people, it's kind of like in One Piece, where if you take out an Emperor of the Sea, it changes the whole power dynamic of the world. But this just changes the whole power dynamic of drugs in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Honestly, I'm kind of done with the whole death thing for now. It's kind of depressing. So let's go on the fifth thing. The fifth thing that is the most important thing of why I love Breaking Bad. Emotional growth and degradation. Yeah. Emotional growth and degradation. Yeah. So, you're probably wondering, who grew emotionally the most out of this entire franchise? Definitely wasn't Walt, due to certain reasons, because at the end it just ended. But Jesse, however, Jesse understood that there was a freedom he could find, and he could make his life somehow better at the end. But Jesse is the main point of emotional growth and degradation. Because you see how it starts is he starts off as one of the most arrogant, hard-headed people in the series. He's almost impossible to work with, and not to mention a lot of the ignorance at the beginning really showed through. But oh my God, Jesse. I have 3 favorite characters in Breaking Bad. Easy. Jesse, Saul, and Mike. Walt isn't up there for some certain reasons. I love Walter White, but he isn't my favorite on the series. I love him. but he isn't my favorite. Jesse, he goes through hell and back several times. He has his love interests die. He develops something and has to break it off for the better, and she just gets popped right in front of her kid, pretty much. Yeah. But besides that stuff about Jesse, Jesse grows up in so many more ways. He becomes, like, recognizably more intelligent as time goes on in Breaking Bad. He starts to use his critical thinking to help out and even see things that Walter White, the egghead, the the self-sucking guy of the series, because Walter sucks his own dick so much in this series. As soon as he breaks that barrier and develops a god complex, that it really hurts your character, which is well written, because that was the bane of Walter White. And that's the degradation part. Walter White degraded so hard. But Jesse grew degraded. Then after the events of that last scene of the last episode of Breaking Bad, well, the last few scenes, we see Jesse become his own man. We see Jesse grow his own set of balls. He's got beautiful balls down there. We watch Jesse become a kid, literally from a kid, a teenager, almost, into a man. He had the mind of a child, and we just watched our boy Jesse grew up into El Camino. El Camino made me so happy at the end. To go back onto the relationships thing, and this is a perfect thing to end this video off on, even though this isn't the deep dive. Wow, it's like almost 25 minutes, and this isn't even the deep dive. But look at Jesse's relationship with Badger and Took Guy. Yeah, don't worry, I remember his name. I remember his name too. But talk about a solid trio of friends. Honestly, at the end where Jesse got the toque and they all just went off in different directions just so that Jesse could get off safe and go where he needed to go, just really touched my heart. It makes me think of me and my literal two best friends, like my two closest friends, and how we just got this bond between us, the three of us, the three amigo bond. That's one thing that Jesse and those two have that really means so much to me. One of the most relatable things about Breaking Bad. The bonds we have with those we love, be it symbiotic or be it of our own volition. We all really go through the works in this life. And having love and pain and all this stuff is what makes Breaking Bad, and like the realism. I I really appreciate having Breaking Bad, even though like it's some crazy days. Now I love y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me below what you like about Breaking Bad. Some of your favorite Breaking Bad moments. I do I do know magnets. Yeah, magnets. One of my favorite parts. That and the train heist. The train heist is one of the best episodes. Seriously, y'all gotta check out Breaking Bad. It's 2024. Do it. Love you. Bye.